Hello, welcome to another episode of The High Ground, powered by Premier Companies. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Sal. How are you?
I'm doing awesome also.
Good.
And in the podcast, the broadcast room, we've got Ryan Batt.
Hi, Sal. Hi, Ryan.
Ryan?
You're a little nervous. This question of the day thing that we've got going has got everybody.
You know, this question of the day thing, this is the third one I've gotten. This is the hardest one I've ever had.
Are you serious?
This is the hardest one.
You were an angry bird last time, so
Yeah.
I can't imagine it got worse than that.
Did you have to get the girls involved?
I
the
did.
family?
I did. I asked Amity last night, and she's like, you don't listen to the radio. I was like, I know.
Well, this will be hard for
This
you.
will be hard.
Yeah.
The best decade for music and your favorite artist from that time period.
You know,
What a look.
it's like deer in the headlights, right? You know, like I say, when I drive down the road, the radio might be on, but it's not what I'm thinking about. So, you know, like I say, I'm a country music dude. You know, like it's always said on country music or like a talk show in the morning or something like that. So, you know, I'm just a country music guy. You know, that's all I can say. I you know, listen to the old stations. You know, that around here with the, you know, stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, stuff like that.
Country.
And then you get into the new stuff. And, you know, like I guess I'm like everybody else. It's just always easier to listen when it's got a little bit of beat to it, you know. So you know, I like the country music, and I just stick with that. I think that kind of sums it up.
So when they, it seems like country music, if they get a new song, they just beat it to death.
Oh, that's for
sure.
sure.
They just play it.
Yeah.
They get a new song, and it's like, look at this, and it's just over and over.
Sure.
Ryan?
So I'm gonna say the 70s. It was hard for me, but I'm gonna say the 70s was the best decade, and I like all kind of music. So I would say like Waylon Jennings and
classic.
Merle Haggard and Pink Floyd and those type. Not together. You wouldn't catch them all on the same show, Bill. But so the 70s and that kind of group.
Those are good. Yeah. That Waylon Jennings. That's
Guys
good
who can
country.
play their own instruments and write their own songs. I like it.
Yep.
So, Sal?
I like the, probably the 80s and U2 and just I remember back in the Marines, I'll never forget being out there on the out there in the parking lots and getting ready to come home on leave, and they were playing U2 on somebody brought a jam box out there, standing out there at 3 or 4 in the morning and waiting out in the desert to go home. So
Nice.
it was a good area, good time frame, the 80s.
Okay.
Well, we all survived that question.
See, the 80s were, it was hard. That was a hard question.
Yep.
So
80s were hard on the ozone. All that white rain,
final
the
net.
hairspray.
Shoot. Go ahead, Sal.
I think we all had a flashback then. Just think,
We did. We stopped for just a
we
minute.
did.
Like,
We,
Well, see, I'm an 82 model, so like, you know, like it's.
that's
you know.
true. You don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, I do, because I like I said, I honestly kind of like listen to the older music than the newer stuff, just because you just never know what's going to come on. But
well, the fact that you used the word classic with 90s music sort of not,
Yeah,
not the
that
best.
got us.
I didn't care for that a lot. That stung some. But
Well, Ryan, tell us about what's going on in the livestock industry.
yeah, you know, Sal, it's just you know, it's a natural occurrence for me to get on here, and it's a great thing in the livestock business. But guess what?
It's going up.
It's going up. That's
Oh,
what,
my
yeah. Sal texted me the other day. He said, "What's happening?" Let me guess. It's going up. I said, "You got it.
Going up.
It's going up. It's a great day." Like say, you know, you know, just talking a little bit of numbers here. You know, we talked about you know, always start out talking about you know, the calves that you're getting ready to purchase there this fall. I can have a feeling that, you know, are going to cost you $1 more 100 than what they did last year.
Oh my gosh.
but you know, like I say, we haven't changed much since the last podcast there in the first part of June. I mean, you know, the top end of the fat steers this week has been bringing, you know, 190, something like that. Average, you know, average about 185, something like that. So, you know, they've kind of held a steady there for, I guess, 2 months now, and that's kind of where they've been at. But you know, on the feeder calf thing, now that thing there, it's taken off again. You know, this week in our market in Kentucky, you know, we had some 400 plus pound steers bringing 305, 310. That's big news. That's big news for the Midwest. You know, they've had it out in the northern states. You know, Dakotas, Nebraskas, and stuff like that. You know, they've even had some calves hit $4. But you know, I tell you,
Wow.
you know, you sit back and look, and we talk about this every time we come on here, but the cost of stuff hasn't went down. The cost of stuff costs more. It costs more to get them trucked out. We talked about that earlier in one podcast, the trucking and stuff. Well, that's kind of mellowed out. The trucking's kind of mellowed out. It's kind of, we're established there. It's not a shock to us that it's going to cost us $5 a mile to get them somewhere. Then we also talked about, the packers making a lot of money and stuff like that. So, I buy cattle for a firm that buys for one of the biggest retailers in the country, without naming any names. But, he'll call me once in a while and he'll say, buy up as much as you can get. Okay. So then I start buying stuff and within 48 hours, he'll say, stop, don't buy no more. Don't buy no more. And the next week he'll be like, no, this retailer turned down, 15 semi loads of hamburger this week.
Oh my God.
So it's amazing how stuff can change. And, I look back on it when I first started this, I could probably tell you if, looking back, let's say the early 2000s, I could tell you what was going to happen in September of the next year. I could tell you what was going to happen in December of the next year. This year, I mean, it's actually an hour change on what happens anymore. And it's quite kind of scary.
What's driving that, Ryan?
I would just say like the market and the vitality of the market. We looked at yesterday. I pulled my phone up. I look at the futures and they're up $3-4. Up $2 to $3 on the futures. And then I pulled my phone out a while ago and we're down $2.
Oh
I mean, it's hard to I talked with one of you guys' clients there, Ben Haney, a little bit earlier. And, Ben dabbles in some of this here stuff and always a great time to come in here and talk to Ben one-on-one about this and chew the fat on what's happening. And, Ben asked me there a few minutes ago, he said, what would be the lock-in price for some cattle, slaughter cattle for next year at this time? And, like right now, today, they're not giving me anything, but tomorrow they may throw something at me. So it's, I think everybody's using a lot of this, the new thing with the livestock is the Livestock Risk Protection, which is LRP thing that
sure.
we got, that's a big thing right now that people's using, kind of protects them on the other end,
Sure.
But, it's a shot in the dark on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. And you got to strategize from being a cow-calf person all the way into a feedlot person. What are we going to do? And you got to have a plan. And that's.
But help me with the math on some of those earlier numbers that you put out there. I mean, how does that work? I mean, it doesn't.
On my pencil, my pencil's not sharp enough.
They got to eat. I mean, right?
Yeah, because
and they won't gain weight without feeding.
Right, and so like a lot of people feed commodities right now. We know that and byproducts and stuff. So. There's not too many people that's, backing up to the feed grinder to the corn bin and shoveling your corn in or,
right.
Rolling corn in and mixing soybean meal and trying to make your protein that way. There's a few people that do it, but, for the most part, you can get feed delivered in or it's more of a factory product you get in versus, actually doing the labor yourself and feed grinders and stuff like that, back like you would have did even 15 years ago. So, there's a little bit less cost in it because you're mass producing something, but in long term, you don't have the extra storage on hand. You don't have, let's just say you run out of feed on Sunday night. It may be Tuesday or Wednesday before the feed company can get you more feed, if you do it on production side, but,
You're saying that's more popular than people chopping their own silage and all that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that is, there's still people that are doing the silage but you take if you can get a silage picker and, come into your farm and pick it for so many dollars an acre and put it in a bag or put it in your pit and you working with that farmer or whatever it is that's doing it for you, that's two people helping each other, which is a great thing. But at the same time, it costs you more money.
Yeah.
And so,
Sure.
The silage thing, a lot of people fed cattle on silage. They fed cattle on silage. They did other stuff. Looking back on it, if corn prices keep dropping down a little bbit, I'm going to have a talk with my family and say, hey, maybe we need to do some silage. Maybe we need to fill up a bag because right now the cost of silage is maybe cheaper than the round bales of hay we're buying. So, where does that fall in?
That's not plentiful this year at all. The hay price has got to be out of control.
Yeah, we've been quoting some hay right now, and like I say, we're you know, if you call today, right now where we're at, you know, we're the end of August, 1st of September. All the hay that I've been spotting right now is for a good 5x6 round bale, not a 4x5. You know, I call that the economy bale. So, you know, and that's what people, you know,
That's the pickup bale.
You don't think about it, but like, you know, a 4x5 round bale only weighs so much.
Yeah.
A 5x6 or 6x6 almost with that extra 2 feet on the outside makes up the whole actual 4x5 round. So, you know, it's like, you know, pick your poison what you're going to get, but you know, quality is quality, and you want to feed quality. You can feed the smaller round bale, you know, with better quality hay, and then feed the larger round bale of less quality hay, and really you're just getting fill on the bigger one. It's not worth it. But you know, like I say, it's all about strategic planning right now in the livestock business because everything is so high. And how can you maximize that dollar? How can you make the most money? And you know, it's something that we haven't had to look at. We've kind of been, you know, like for years, we thought, oh, you know, our cull cows, they're worth this much money, or you know, we're going to get a new bull every 3 or 4 years. You know, we're going to fatten out this calf here, you know, for the family to eat, and you know, we're going to sell our feeder calves in this month, and you know, now you really need to know what you're going to do next year. You know, you need to know what maybe you're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, it goes back to just what I said about the, you know, the silage versus round bales. We ain't had a whole lot of rain. Corn looks pretty good. You know, what's the difference? Maybe we need to feed more wet matter instead of dry matter this winter to get our cows through. And it may be cheaper, even though it looks like it should be, you know, cost more money.
What about the hog market right now?
You know, that hog market, it's kind of just sitting still. You know, I talked about some pork loins and stuff in the store. Excuse me, but I talked about the pork loins in the store there. First part of June or something when I was in here, and you know, the prices on those haven't really moved a lot.
No.
And you know, the price of the hogs,
they went up and they liked it.
Yeah. And so I was, you know, I was in the store the other day and looked, and they was doing a special like buy one get one free, and I was like, dang, that's a pretty good deal. You know, but then I got to looking at the price, and I was like, because you're charging 2 times the amount.
$8 a pound.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's funny because like, you know, we do certain stuff there with the kids and everything, and you know, my little boy right now, he's
little,
little, he's bigger than me, but anyways, he's dealing in the
little feller.
Yeah, he's wanting to sell some 4-H project calves and stuff like that, and, you know. And you think, okay, well, we got this much money, you know, they're worth that much money. Look, we can sell them to this for this amount of price, you know. And, you know, almost if you price something too cheap, somebody, you know, people won't come look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's about the way it is. You know, if you, the more people talk about how high something is, it's like, I need to go get it. I need to go look at it. I need that, you know.
I had my father-in-law always used to tell the story about the old couch out by the end of the driveway. If it had free on it, sit there for a month. You put 50 bucks on it, somebody's still at the first night.
Right.
They'll steal it the first night.
It's amazing. Like, and you know, I'm not gonna lie about it. You know, when I go down the road and I see yard sale, I won't stop. But if I see a toolbox sitting out there, I'm stopping. You know, like there might be a wrench in there that I don't need.
Something in there that
Snap on or Craftsman.
Yeah. I just eat it, and it's just human nature, you know. And you know, I come in here a little bit earlier. I went over to Harbor Freight there in town and was looking at some stuff, and I was like, I don't need it. Put it in my cart. I might need that tomorrow. Put it in my
ties.
cart.
Gotta have zip ties.
Yeah, zip ties.
You can't have enough.
Yeah, and I every time I walk in there, I buy like the 6-pack of the black electrical tape.
Yeah.
I don't know where it all goes, but every time I go in there, I buy that. You know,
it's nothing frustrating.
Yeah.
But you've never had to deal with the frustration of not having it when you wanted it.
You're right. And it's the same way in the livestock industry. I mean, you know, every time there's a new glitch that comes out, every time there's a new idea that we have that we're going to make money or do anything, you know, like one of the new programs we got coming out, it's a VAC 60 program. And the only thing that separates that between the programs that we had before is we require them to be weaned 60 days instead of 30 or 40 or 45 days. The shot protocol, everything's all the same, but it's 60 more days. So people are like, oh, we got to do that. You know, that's what we got to do because that's the new thing. That's the new thing. You know, it's great. Like, you know, that's what we want to do. And that's what we want to promote. We want, and in all honesty, on the animal welfare of it, it's a whole lot better as far as sickness and health and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's, you know, the way the market is now, it's kind of like, well, do you do it or do you not do it? Because you put more money into something that I'm already, you know, planning on bringing X amount of dollars, and they're over that budget right now. So I'm making money. So am I really going to do this here product? That's where it gets into, like right now in the livestock industry, that's one of the biggest challenges that I deal with locally is, the weaned versus not weaned at this time. Am I going to wean my calves or am I not going to wean my calves? Because we're at all-time highs, whether they're weaned or not.
Right.
I'm going to get a big price on my lower weight calves, my 500s and under.
Wow.
So I'm sitting here thinking, is it really worth it?
It's my last dollar spent.
Yeah,
I'm done with it.
Yeah. What brings tomorrow? But it all goes back to just like we said, you got to think ahead what for next year. If the market stays like this, well, I'm sure that, John Deere, Case IH, New Holland, whatever, is going to say, all right, well, you're getting this much more money for your calves, so our round baler is going to cost $5,000 more. So
You don't think there's any thoughts like that in the industry, do you?
I mean, I'm thinking
That seems speculative.
yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid to have you back on, Ryan, because the trend has been it's going up.
Oh man, when it goes down, we'll have a huge story to tell.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
That's right.
What else you got for us? Anything going into winter? So you got winter coming up. I mean, it's going to be a little bit. But
Right. Going into winter, I mean, I haven't read the Farmer's Almanac, and I haven't had too much discussion with the farmers. I know we have been very blessed, I think, in southern Indiana that we have not had extremely hot weather except for like 1 week.
Yeah.
You take the last week out or the week before, we've been pretty lucky. I went outside this morning. It's 48 degrees.
Yeah.
We've been pretty lucky. So like I say, it's and I don't know I guess the agronomist guy was in here before and everything looked green. This time of year we usually ain't mowing our yards still every week. We've had
You can't keep up right
good
now.
supply with rain. I mean, the pastures look pretty good. Everything's looking okay. But when it stops, I know it's going to stop.
Yeah.
Going into winter, I mean, like I say on them cows, you want to look for, livestock side of it in general, especially on the cow side of it. Keeping flies off of them still and getting ready to go into winter. Like say, plan ahead. Do you have enough hay? Do you need to be buying hay? Should you be chopping your neighbor's corn silage? Could you be offering him money where he's making more money than selling it dry corn? There's a lot of stuff that goes into effect now.
Yeah.
Even if you're a farmer that has 20 head of livestock, 20 head of cows or whatever, you still need to plan this because, that everything you throw away is gone. It's gone. If you utilize it however you can utilize it, do whatever you can do. I guess the biggest thing I could tell you, Ryan, is like, we need to be looking into what's going to happen. There's no forecast that says what's going to be on December. If we're going to have a snow on June or anything like that, we got to be planning ahead on kind of what we need. But I'm not sure if we're looking ahead and advancing ourselves enough, to where we need to be at, and that's where I can come in, I can kind of give tips on stuff, but just projecting ahead. That's the big thing. Project ahead on what you need, what you think you need, and don't ever hurt to look out for your neighbors. So. Maybe your neighbor, you think, he bales hay every time it rains. He's probably not going to have a very good feed source.
right.
Always look out for your neighbor.
All right. Well, that's all I've got today.
All I've got.
All right. Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us again.
We'll have you back.
I appreciate it.
We'll have you back. Thank you so much.
That's another episode of The High Ground, powered by Premier Companies. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.